Eat less fat, get in shape. The end. Sorry.
Well, it's about to be summertime here. I mean, I know your kids are homeschooled, but my kids go to public school. And I'm like of the camp where I'm kind of starting to get nervous about my kids being home with me all day. I feel like on one hand, I want to be such a good mom and I want to do all these fun things with them. But on the other hand, like I have a lot of shit to do and my kids are, I can't always be
They get in
like
the
the
way.
fun, let's go to the zoo. What?
They get in the way.
They get in the way a
Mm.
lot, especially my older one because he's very needy. But, and that's enough to like throw somebody off. And I've had this conversation with so many people who say things like, I can't, it's hard, it's too hard to work out when my kids are around. Or, we're going to the pool every day. How am I going to figure out my nutrition when we're going to the pool every day, all day long? And things like that, where it's, it's easy to get thrown off because your routines go to shit in the summertime. And even if you're working a 9 to 5, still, sometimes you got your kids home, you got to take them to
Well,
camps, you got to
hang
pick them
on.
up.
What does routines go to shit mean?
When
Take your time. You're
in the
fine.
school, in the school year, your kids go to school and you got the day to do your things. I train in the morning. When I'm done training, I
Okay, so
usually,
again, so you're not. I'm talking about routines. You're talking about your daily routine, right?
yes,
I'm talking about your workout routine.
like how your day flows is what I'm talking about.
I don't give a fuck about that. Gives a fuck about that. This goes back to the goals, man. This goes back to we talked forever ago about your time is your number one asset, right?
Yeah.
So if you have a long ass commute, it's the same difference as being the person who stays at home and has kids every day.
Yeah.
So what's the difference? It's
You
so
got to
your
plan around it.
routine is or isn't going to be conducive to how you live, like your life and whatever your life goals may be. If you're trying to get in shape, then clearly what's your daily routine and your workout routine, they ain't on the same page,
Yeah.
right? There shouldn't be your workout routine. Something's got to take precedence is all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? If you have a non-negotiable, like we said before when I said the 300s or the fucking, you got, from a nutrition standpoint, which I think we got to dedicate some more time to that. But, from a nutrition standpoint, getting X amount of protein in every fucking meal,
Yep.
every time,
Mhm.
non-negotiable. Getting in the appropriate amount of water every day, non-fucking negotiable, right? If you knew that you had to get in, just for conversation's sake, you got your run-of-the-mill 9-ounce bottle of water, right? Walmart bottle of water. You got to get in 6 of those motherfuckers every day. Not even that much, but let's pretend like it's a lot. If you knew that you had to do that, right? Throw a couple in the car. Throw a couple in the cooler in the car. Get the cooler out the night before. You don't want it to get hot? Cool. Bring some to work. Leave it in the air-conditioned office. I mean, there's ways around. You start planning, and then your routine now becomes preparation, and that's where half the battle is already won. Okay, same thing with the protein. That's just meal prep. You have done a ton on about the content of meal prep and things like that. And it's time consuming, but if time's your asset, that's what it's there for, to use smart so that you don't put yourself in a hole. So you making sure that you have measurable ways of holding yourself accountable to those non-negotiables, that's half the fucking battle.
I think that is a great strategy to have a set of non-negotiables for the day. Every day, I need to get 30 minutes of exercise in, with or without kids. Every day, I need to get 3 full meals with 25, 30 grams of protein every single meal. Check, check, check. Every day, I need to get 80 to 100 ounces of water. And that, for one, you have to be okay understanding that that might look a little different every day. And for two, you need to know that you can't just put that checklist on your fucking fridge and expect that it's going to get done because you put a checklist on your fridge. Like, you've got to put some thought into it and have a plan, like you said. And the other thing that people need to realize is you can work out with your kids around. I think very often people say, well, my daughter doesn't nap anymore. Or I don't get the kids to bed till 8 or 9 o'clock, and by then I'm too tired to work out. Why can't we work out with our kids?
Sometimes
Involve
because
them.
they don't want to be involved. They want to be around you and in your way. They want your attention. They don't want to be a part of your fucking workout. You know what I mean?
And that's fine.
Your kids can do that, and I get it. My youngest wants to do that with me, but you know, it ends up being like more in the way sometimes. Because what am I going to do? I'll be like, okay, get ready to catch this fucking 15-pound medicine ball. Try not to die in the process. Like, can't, you know what I'm saying? And it changes the whole routine. And then you're stuck feeling like either an asshole parent or an asshole human for not taking care of yourself.
Well, and my kids will hold interest for 5, maybe 10 minutes max. And then they're like, all right, I'm out. And they're a little bit older now where they can, you know, the other side of the basement, they got like a little hockey rink, or they can go upstairs and play or whatever. You know, they're at an age now where I don't need them in my direct line of sight every second for them to be fine. But even when they were little and they did have to be in my direct line of sight, and we'd get down there and I'd finally get into it, and then one of them would shit and I'd have to go change their diaper, go upstairs and wipe their butt, or they're getting into things and I'm having to worry about him dropping a dumbbell on his foot or something like that. Even then, it's very powerful for your kids to see you doing that kind of thing. And once again, you just need to go into a workout like that with the expectation of, this will likely not be my best workout ever. This will not be one that I'm walking away from like, wow, that was such a great workout. But you're keeping it in your routine. You're showing your kids it's important, and you're getting something in.
Yeah.
And so sometimes it's just about adjusting what you're expecting out of the workout, knowing that your kids are with you, and there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, one of the things that we're going to do with Ignition this summer, our monthly workout programs, we're going to throw a couple like park workouts in there that you can take your kids to the park and do your workout at the park with like a Fit Kid strap or a couple of resistance bands while they're playing. And that way, you get the best of both worlds. You're doing something fun for them. It's summertime, whatever, but you're still getting your stuff in too. And yes, you might have to stop every couple minutes to push them on the swing or to do this or whatever, but you're still getting it in. Instead of using your kids as an excuse, you're using that time to show them what's important. And that's something that I think people really need to remember.
That's all about your expectations. That's, you know, and again, I say about the non-negotiables. If this is where the wearables, we did an episode about the wearables once too, you know, if you can, is counting your steps going to be a make or break for you? All things being equal, probably not. Depending on what again, all things being equal. Because it's such a subjective measurement. Neat exercises and whatnot. But if you know, like somebody who's on their feet all day long is always going to beat you in steps if you're a desk person, right? But having a Fitbit or something that tracks your steps, if you were to get in 15,000 steps a day, no matter what, and if you walk every day, if you're always on your feet, cool, bump it to 20. No fucking matter what. You can get more steps if you run, so maybe you do that. Like, there's ways to strategize against your non-negotiables. Kids want to take you to the park, bet. It's 5 p.m., you got 4,000 steps to go, you didn't hit your non-negotiable. Cool, take them to the park. It's a win-win for everybody. You see what I'm saying? Now you can start to strategize against the day because your routine now has a non-negotiable. Your routine now has your prioritization set where to work out. It's set in stone from the standpoint that it's got to get done no matter what. And if you follow your water, activity, your meals from the basics and non-negotiables within the meals, then the only thing left is your rest. Those are the 4 main gigs. Who gives a shit what equipment you use, if it's calisthenics, if it's barbells, if it's fucking lifting the weight of the world off your shoulders for 10 sets of fuck you. What difference does it make? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So there's always a way to in summertime, you have an ally in the weather, at least you're supposed to in the weather, that it's nicer outside instead of, good weather is cheaper than fucking a $5,000 treadmill.
Yep.
Right? So go and take advantage of that shit. There's plenty of fun shit to do.
Yeah. Yesterday I took my kid to his OT appointment, and usually when it's cold outside, I've just been sitting in the car, lazy. But yesterday I was like, it's nice out. I'm going to walk while he's in there. There's a path right down the street. So I drop him off and I go walk that path for the 45 minutes I've got or whatever while he's in there. I had to go to the store first. I went to the store first. Ended up, I only had like 15 minutes. And I was like, okay, I can either sit in my car for the next 15 minutes and wait for him to come out. That would be the easy thing to do. No thinking. I've got a bunch of stuff I can do on my phone for work and whatnot. Or let me drive up to that path. 15 minutes is 15 minutes. I'll walk for 15 minutes. My goal yesterday was 10,000 steps. I decided to go walk for that 15 minutes. In that 15 minutes, I think I got about 2,000 steps, 2,500 steps, something like that. And I ended the day almost exactly at 10,000 steps. And I was like, if I didn't do that 15 minutes of walking, I wouldn't have hit it. And that was a very small decision. That was a very small part of the day. It was 15 minutes. And it could have easily been like, 15 minutes isn't going to it's not going to do anything for me. It did. So it's things like that you've got to be thinking about within those non-negotiables, where it's like that little shit adds up.
And at the end of the day, I think that people misunderstand what they gauge or how they gauge a successful fitness routine. It usually is, with regards to the results, it's not about what they did right. It's about what they did wrong. And they'll use social events or whatever the fuck, vacations or fucking, all that shit that comes with summer, all the barbecues, all the fucking random cookouts and neighbor parties, whatever it may be, because the weather's nice and everyone suddenly wants to go be social and go do shit.
Yeah.
And what are your usual suspects? You got your alcohol, sweets or desserts, fucking what? And then eating too much shit, depending on whatever it is, right? So pick one that you're going to be okay with. Not all fucking 3 of them, but pick one. If you have to fucking pick one, if you have to, succumb to that part of you that just knows you can't control yourself for shit, then pick one and that's it. All right. Now, if you choose to go to that event and not I don't say prioritize a fuck up, but if you don't want to do that and you just say, fuck it, I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to enjoy the time because time is valuable and blah, 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 blah. And I want to live. Then cool. Fucking hell yeah. Fucking hell yeah. Bomb that booze. Eat the fucking ho-ho. Overeat on the fucking chorizo. Do what the fuck you want. Just shut the fuck up about it. The next day, shut the fuck up.
Yes.
Shut the fuck up. Shut all the way the fuck up. Shut all the way up. Fuck up mountain until there's no more fucks to shut. Keep going.
Because you chose that. You chose that.
And that's okay. Because you are the only one whose judgment actually fucking matters. And if you're worried about what other people are thinking, dude, there's nothing that anyone can ever say to you because it's not going to matter. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, what we're asking or what we're trying to give you suggestions to do is really not that hard. It's just different. It's just different.
It is. And that's a lot of new clients will be like, I'm like, listen, it sounds overwhelming to meal prep and change the way that you're eating. But think about it this way. I'm literally asking you to eat like chicken and vegetables. That's very simple when you think about it that way. Cook some chicken. You could cook 2 pounds of chicken in the oven in 25 minutes.
But
all you got to do is season it.
Shit, then I get it. Like if you don't know how to cook at all,
Google it.
I can understand that shit. That's
Google
almost
it.
more overwhelming. I can feel that. Like if you don't know how to cook, no one ever taught you, you don't have the smell. You know, you just kind of like fucking around with it. You can Google shit all day. How the fuck are you supposed to know if you like Saskatchewan chicken and fucking canopy beans? Google what, motherfucker? I don't even know what that feels. What? How? You know what I mean? And the worst part is those people are the ones that, oh, my sister's fucking puss pal knows how to make a really amazing pasta. And then you call that motherfucker, oh shit, I don't measure. I just go ahead by eye. And you can't win. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
maybe you make it a weekend where you just save up your pennies and fucking buy some shit and experiment until you get it right.
And even that, I feel like, is overcomplicating it. When we got people signing up for customs and ignition and whatnot, they get all these recipes, tons and tons of recipes. And I tell people all the time, I am of the camp where I do not have hours on the weekend to be cooking in my kitchen. And even if I did, I wouldn't want to. I don't love doing that. I've got shit to do and things people take care of and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So most of our recipes are very simple. And listen, when I first started meal prepping, I didn't know how to cook either. I think I learned how to cook chicken in the oven when I was 25, and sometimes I still Google what temperature and how long to put it in there for.
Oh yeah.
Like, the recipes are written from that camp of thought, where it's like, put the chicken on a pan, put it in the oven at 425 for 25 minutes.
That you're allowed to eat that are still pink in the middle.
That's so gross.
That's more for the boys out there, you know.
Yeah.
Shit.
But the recipes are written simply like that. There are simple ways to do this shit. We've got a whole 1 hour meal prep guide. It's 2 pages long. That's it. And one of the pages is the recipe. The other pages is just the steps. Like it does not have to be that complicated. And the thing with nutrition is, especially for moms or adults in general who are, you know, you're in that 35, 40, 45, 50 age range, precision matters so much more than anything else. It's not enough to say, I guarantee you, if you're like, well, even in the summertime, I'm like 80-20, and you feel like you're not making progress, you feel like you're sabotaging yourself, you don't like what you're seeing when you look in the mirror, log your shit for a couple days, and I can all but guarantee you you're nowhere near 80-20. And if you are, that 20%, 20% say that's 1 day a week. That 20%, you're blowing your calories out so bad that the other 80% doesn't matter anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So precision in that regard matters so much. And so if you're after a physical goal in the summer,
don't supplement.
What?
You can't have an 80-20 diet and a fucking 0-100 workout regimen.
Yeah. I mean, you've got to have them both. And on the other hand, you can't have 100% workout regimen and let your nutrition be shit. That doesn't work either. You need them both, which goes back to those non-negotiables that you give yourself for the day. And your non-negotiables on Saturday better look just like your non-negotiables on Wednesday.
Before, like, when I was younger, so before I got to the age where I can actually talk about being 40-something and how much it sucks ass, unless you're that type that actually likes to suck someone's ass, then you probably fucking love it, but I don't. Our way of life back then, we can get away with 4 hours of sleep. We can get away with just eating fucking sin and salt like it was nobody's business, but you can't do that now. And if you think, I just want to indulge a little here, there, like, motherfucker, you indulged for 25 years. Your indulgence is why we got this way. So, you're in a position now. Do you need equipment? No, of course not. Fuck no. Gravity does it for you. Push-ups, bitch. Do some fucking push-ups. Because sooner or later, that's going to get boring, and you won't feel the boredom as your sign that it's time to move on to, a fit kit or a dumbbell somewhere. Okay, what you'll feel is triumphant because the push-ups now are easy.
Mm-hmm.
And numbers, since we always lose at the numbers, meaning in a rep situation, what are you going to do? All the push-ups in the world? Like, you know what I'm saying? At some point, you're going to get tired. You know, you can't do a bazillion push-ups in a row. Cool. Same thing with squats. Same thing with, crunches, anything you want to do. The rep count is not your friend because it will outnumber you always. So you go and say, you know what, I want to be challenged more. Let me go after that instead. Even, but that only happens, that victory only happens after you choose the right fight in the first place. And that's prioritizing a non-negotiable routine upon which your daily routine revolves around. If you're having a hard time, oh, my kids, this and that, okay. Like, you had to know this was going to be a fucking thing sooner or goddamn later. Right?
Well, yeah. And also, if you've
Organize
been...
a play date with your fucking neighborhood friends and go, all the kids can go sit there and fucking run around and you and the moms can go fuck around. Go fucking for a walk together. Grab some
Right.
long range walkie-talkies so that the kids can always get a hold of you and do that.
Well, and I think by now, if you've worked with us or listened to us in any capacity, you should know that the issue is not your kids. It's not time. It's not your schedule. It's your discipline. It's like you digging your heels in the sand and saying, these are my non-negotiables for the day. And like you said, the rest of my day is going to revolve around these non-negotiables.
Yeah.
That is the takeaway of all this. And that is the tangible that you need to come out of this episode with. And it's give yourself those non-negotiables and plan your day around those. You cannot wake up in the morning saying, hopefully I get my workout in today or I'll try later. No. Those are your non-negotiables.
Yeah.
And that's what you're going to do.
Consistency will always beat opportunity. You know what I mean? Because you'll create opportunity. If you're consistent at some shit, you'll always find a fucking way. And in order to be consistent, you got to be disciplined. No matter fucking what. Got to do this. You know what I'm saying? There's got to be something. I don't care what the fuck it is. Like, let's just say the easiest fucking thing in the world. 1 push-up, 1 sit-up, 1 crunch. Let's just say. Now, if you do that every day, is that a victory? If you're so goddamn busy that you can't get a regular bout in where you can actually spend some time developing, feeling resistance and that burn and that sweat and all of that, then sure, why not? Are you going to get anything out of that? Are you even going to feel a sense of accomplishment out of that? Probably not. And you know why that is? It's because you need a bigger fucking goal than that. So bump it to 10, bump it to 20, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? And I remember there was actually I don't remember where it was, but I remember reading on one of the beloved Facebook groups that, you join. And of course, everyone's a fucking critic and they're all experts. They're so fucking bad. Oh my God. God
Hate
forbid
them.
there's somebody who puts a group together to actually help other people. It doesn't take more than the first fucking post to find out that everyone's just a fucking smartass. Keyboard warrior having ass punk. Fuck you, you dirty labia. Kiss my asshole. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Everybody's fucking tough behind a computer, you piece of shit. Go fucking shave yourself. Anyway, so when if you were to give yourself, say you were to do 50, 50, and 50, right? Well, Chris, you can't do that every day. You're going to have joint damage. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? What? You know what I'm saying? We're not doing weights. It's push-ups. Then modify the shit. The movement pattern's not that much. So I don't want to hear that shit either. So, I understand if the chiropractor's out there saying, well, Chris, you're not a doctor. The actual wear and tear and from repetitive, especially if it's a poorly executed arthrokinematic display in any given movement, can absolutely result in some kind of fibrosis or bursitis and blah, blah, blah. Calm the fuck down, okay? Slow and easy is all I'm saying. Because sooner or later it's going to fucking click. Okay? It always clicks. If you want it, even if you don't want it, it'll click. Because either it'll click and say, you know what? I can do better. Yeah. Let me go ahead and what if I went to every other day, kept the 50, but I did form like this, or I went for this feeling. Well, now I'm doing the 50 and I'm not getting the feeling, but my form is perfect. Probably means you need to jump to 75. Or maybe you're just ready to take on something heavier. Now you got to start looking at, well, I don't have time for that. Well, okay, how do we make time? And as soon as you get to that point, and you start saying, how can I make time? It's fucking game over.
Yep.
You motherfuckers need to get up out of your way. Because if they're not on board, they're in your way. And that's where we need to get to. You know what I'm saying? Now, do I think that you need to, let's just say you have an extensive amount of experience. Let's say you have a fucking, all the bars and whatever else, right? Well, I'm going to do, no matter what, 10 135-pound military press, 10, bar back, or what's it called? Back squats, barbell. I'm going to do 20-yard fucking farmer carries with 1,000-pound dumbbells every day, no matter what. My non-negotiable. Like, dude, if you're able to do all of that, you're already in a position where you're probably competing for some shit. Good for fucking you.
Yeah.
Right? If you're conditioned and you need to have that, like, we're probably not having this conversation, to be honest. You need a hobby or you need something to go against because your way of life now is starting to slow you down. You know what I mean? Then yes, of course, that's going to wear and tear on you. It's just going to take longer to do so because you're probably conditioned enough to take it in the first fucking place. But until then, it's not that hard to just find the thing that challenges you. Give yourself a grace period. Say, no, I'm not going to be nice because fuck you. Give yourself a week at best. Do I need more resistance or do I need something active like walking? Right? Do I need to do more of a pushing or pulling? Maybe I need to, do I have a dysfunction somewhere? Do I need to focus on a corrective every day? You know what I'm saying? Those are the things that I need to, what am I gauging? At the end of the day, you got to ask, what am I gauging as progress?
Yeah.
Because that's what's going to determine whether or not you feel like you've had a successful summer, and it all starts back to being, did I have a successful routine?
Right. We did in this month's Ignition. I was talking to one of our clients last week who just checking in like we always do, like, how's it going? How are workouts going? I know last we talked, you were kind of on the struggle with the kids and this and that. And you said, last week, our house got taken out by some sickness that it just went through all of us and it was miserable. But this month we have a section in a lot of the workouts called Roll With It. And it's like, if shit comes up like that, roll with it, do this workout instead. And it's a full out body weight, 15 to 20 minutes max. You could do it in the living room while your kids are eating lunch, like that kind of roll with it. Just do this. And that way you can walk away from it. Maybe it's not going to be the best workout of your life. It's not going to be life-changing in terms of aesthetics by any means, but it's going to prove to yourself, I can do this no matter what. And it's setting those expectations in your head of, I'm going to find a way, hell or high water, because I said I was going to, and that's a non-negotiable on my list. So if you can't get this 45-minute one in, cool, roll with it, do this. And she was like, thank God those are in there this month because that's all I did last week. Yeah. And that speaks to what you're saying. Like, you just, you give yourself a non-negotiable and you find a way to hit it no matter what.
Yeah. We've all been there. Both of us have.
Oh my gosh. I was just talking to somebody this morning because she's a client here, but she's taking that. I'm taking a concealed carry class this weekend. She's taking it with me.
Oh my God. Who? Do I know?
What?
Do I know them?
Lauren. We've talked about her. Her husband's in law enforcement. She, I was like, she'll want to do this with me. So she's doing it with me. But our class is at 8 a.m. on Saturday, and she usually comes to the 7 a.m. class on Saturday, which ends at 8, which means she can't go to it because we got to be at this class at 8. So this morning, she's like, wait, are we going to work out this weekend? Are you working out this weekend? How are we going to make sure we work out this weekend? And I'm like, you know what? We're putting some park workouts in for Ignition next month. She lives in my neighborhood. Let's meet at the park, 6 a.m. We'll get something in before we go. She's like, okay, cool. I'm like, I gotta record those for ignition anyways. Two birds, one stone. Awesome.
She's gonna be like,
But that's a non-negotiable for her. Whether she's
yeah,
got kids, she's got classes, she's got work, she's a photographer, so sometimes she's gone 12 hours a day, weddings and shit. But she plans her day around those non-negotiables, even when it's not
yeah,
convenient,
yeah.
even when she's got to wake up earlier, even if she's got to do it with her kids eating a snack in the basement in front of her. And I've seen her figure that shit out on Zoom before.
It's again, expectations is one thing, okay, but the reality is in the understanding and the acceptance that even in execution of a non-negotiable, no matter how the smaller it is, the better, right? Are you able to take that victory for what it is and not say, say you did your 10 push-ups, your 10 sit-ups, your 10 crunches, whatever. Are you able to be like, bet, it's not what I wanted, but at least the thing wasn't a fucking failure, and feel that shit, like actually pat yourself on the back and say, I didn't fail today. It may not have been the fucking home run, but then again, I don't need it to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Games aren't always won from that one miraculous final shot, that one grand slam, that one long range touchdown, that one interception, that one, I don't know how you, in hockey terms, whatever the equivalent would be. They're not always won that way. And if they are always won that way, that means your games are too fucking close, too often, too much. You're not doing something right in the beginning to make sure that game is done and won before the last 5 seconds are even there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's how you've got to look at shit. And and I'll say from experience, right now, I have the hardest time giving myself any kind of credit for anything. As a matter of fact, I've even tried to lower my expectations to be more reasonable, saying it's poor for my mental health because I'm over here beating myself up every fucking day under the guise of that's what a grown-ass man is supposed to do. And even not talking about it, I'm setting it up to sound like, fuck that. No, but I'm still going to believe that shit. I believe that shit when we're done here. And I'm going to go out there and probably put myself in a situation to be severely disappointed again. Because deep inside, it's fuck you because I can. It's because I can. It's because in my eyes, I've set up a scenario where in every other scenario, that asshole across the table from me will quit long before I fucking bow out. I'm going to continue to push. I don't need to push tenfold. I just need to push 1/2 inch more than you to win. And that's the hard part as a former athlete is I don't have that competition. So I've got to look at myself and realize that for the first fucking time in my life, I actually have to face defeat every fucking day because that son of a bitch in the mirror is a bad man. And worse yet, he's got some heartache issues and lost his mom. I got a lot of shit I'm trying to sort through. Mm-hmm. And if you're an overthinker, I know you can relate to this. If you're an overthinker, you start making up reasons why what you're doing that's wrong is right, and that's dangerous. And it's easy for us to fucking point out shit when you're in the beginning stages of a fitness journey because in order for us to be so fucked up now, we had to get past all that shit. So we get it, man. Believe me, we get it. Okay. And it's not easy. I make it sound that way. I poke fun and I guess I'm a sarcastic asshole. Because if I'm not sarcastic asshole, I'll just be fucking legitimately mean all the goddamn time. And I don't think anybody wants that. So I got a house full of fucking girls, man. I'm not trying to be a dickhead. I don't want to be dickhead daddy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So everybody has their demons to fight, whether it's procrastination / overthinking, whether it's overachieving, seeking perfectionism or control over everything like Sarah likes to do. You know what I mean? Those demons are tough because we're the ones who give them power. That's the hardest part. So at the end of the day, it's not your kids. It's not the routines or your non-negotiables, your supposed non-negotiables. It's not the priorities. It's you. You're the one who puts them there. You're the one that's coming up with the excuses. Are your kids saying, Mom, do this or this or this or this, or you're going to be fat, or you're fat because of me? No, they're not doing that shit. They want you, and they want your attention because you're doing a good job as a parent. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Right? But fast forward 30 fucking years from now, when your kids have the discipline of a fucking llama, they're not going to be able to survive in this life, and you will have ultimately failed them as a parent because you were trying to be the people's champ and trying to be their hero and trying to be their best fucking friend and so on. Okay. And I hear that all the time. I don't want my kids. I don't want to lose contact. I want to be able to talk with them and have them come to me like I want to be friends. Every parent wants that. Motherfucker, I want that. I thought I had the best relationship in the whole world with my 20-year-old. Goddamn, I was wrong as fuck. I can't connect with her for shit right now, and I hate it. Mm-hmm. And I realized that, I wasn't the bad guy enough. I didn't show the difference, that the downsides, especially when you're the one who created the downsides, can actually be your best allies ever, because that's where you fucking learn. You know what I mean? Muscle grows only after it's been torn. So when you can figure out that here's what needs to happen, and you change your perspective on shit, again, with the perspective, start small, because there's nothing wrong with that. Not starting is where the issue is. Start small, cool. If you want to start big, awesome. As long as your expectations are there, don't get mad if it don't work. Right? I mean, if you start big, I'm saying, go from there. But you got to understand that at the end of the day, you and you alone are the one that contains the power to win or to lose. It will always be on you.
Yes.
Yes, you need a support system. Sure. Yes. But you can decide that support system. Happens all the time. My husband doesn't. Okay, well then stop giving the nookie to that motherfucker until he gets on board. So you'd be surprised. The power of the PUSSY dropping to his knees. You know what I'm saying? Fuck out of here. You laugh, but you know I'm right. Fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? Shit works all the time. That's not being a good wife. Okay. I could list you shit that guys think way more important than that, motherfucker. Yeah. There's always a fucking way. So.
Well, and I'll tell you what, like, people tell me, I have this conversation with clients all the time, and it comes down to, well, it's easy for you to say, or easier said than done. Like, no shit. It's easier said than done for me too. Lauren said that she's like, well, why don't we like wake up and work out first? And my first thought was, I don't want to do that. I don't want to set an alarm and wake up earlier. Why would I want to do that? I didn't even think, honestly, to be completely 100% honest with you. When she asked me, are you going to work out this weekend? I was like, why is she asking me? That thought didn't even occur to me. No part of me was like, I've got this concealed carry class this weekend. When am I going to work out? Not one part of me. And that's on me that I've let that non-negotiable slip.
Well, don't do that. That's not fair.
But
because
but
you can't say it like that though.
But then this whole scenario is playing out in my head. She's like, let's wake up early and go. And in my head, I'm like, I mean, I could. I really don't want to. I don't want to set an alarm that early when I don't have to wake up that early, because I wake up early all the time, and here I am justifying it. I wake up early 5, 6, 7 days a week. I don't want to wake up early on Saturday. But in a split second, I snap myself out of it. It's like, I have no reason not to. Why would I not? If I'm going to be sitting in a classroom all day for 8 hours, I have no reason to not wake up a little bit earlier and get a workout in.
Yes.
None. Zero.
But if you're not being accurately fair to yourself, because it didn't cross your mind, because missing workouts is never a problem. So your universe isn't even built that way. That's not a problem ever. It doesn't matter if it's conceal and carry class or not. If you miss 3 days, you're still not horny, because you're never going to let that 3 days turn into 3 years. So we're not talking about the same kind of person. Like, you've already been through it. So for you don't look at it that way. Shit, you're probably looking at a Saturday as, man, I get to sleep in a bit, even if your internal alarm clock wakes you up early regardless. You know what I mean? It'd be nice to get the extra. I mean, you may get up and just sit there, and maybe your brain just needs the break. That's okay too. But again, it's
Right.
because you're in a position where it's not missing a day, and your non-negotiables are totally fucking different.
Yeah. That's
Totally
true.
different.
That's fair. That's fair, because I do always know in the back, and because at the end of I've learned to understand over the. I never used to work out a day in my life. There was my whole life. I actively avoided physical activity on purpose. I hated it, and over the last 15 years that I have been active and getting myself into workouts and whatnot, I have proven to myself and shown myself that I will always go back to it. So if I get that, even if I take a week off for
Yeah.
whatever reason, that, like you said, that week I am confident is not going to turn into a year, because I understand that I am the one in control of this. And at any moment I can say, no, I'm going to put the rest of this down and I'm going to focus on myself for the next 45 minutes.
Now, the older you get, the more time you take, the more damage is done.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? 3 days off for me versus 3 days off for you, they hit totally fucking different.
Definitely.
So, in terms of aging, you do have to be a little bit more cautious about
How much?
the time off. However, I would also urge some focus behind what happens in those days off,
Right.
which is, full circle here. That's where your non-negotiables at when you're older come in to save the day, because it may not be your full-on ball-busting session. You know what I'm saying? But shit, you can still bust a O without having intercourse. I mean, there's always no way to win. You know what I mean? Fuck out of here. Hey, you get old enough, you learn how to win several different ways, is all I'm saying.
Yes. Well, the point of all that was to say that I was able to step back and talk myself out of justifying what is really an excuse. Right. And to be able to look at it and say, there's no reason not to.
Yeah.
And that's how you got to look at those non-negotiables.
Yeah.
Like, what reason do you have to skip your 10 push-ups, 10 squats, 10 sit-ups?
Mm-hmm.
Probably none. And go from there.
Mm-hmm.